Hello, good evening, and welcome to Skylink TV show. Today we are discussing a critical aspect of Jigawa State's preparedness and response to emergencies. Joining me is the Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Haruna Mairiga. With the increasing frequency of natural disasters and other emergencies, the role of SEMA has become more vital than ever. From flood response to disaster mitigation, SEMA is at the forefront of ensuring the safety and well-being of our citizens. We will be discussing SEMA's efforts in disaster management, the challenges they face, and their plans of the future. Let's dive in. Yes, sir. SEMA is doing an excellent job in Jigawa State, especially under your watch. Since you emerged to this office, people are at least hailing the state government as you are promoting the 12-point agenda of the state governor, Malam Umaru Namadi. So, how is the agency collaborating with other stakeholders such as local governments, communities, and NGOs to enhance flood preparedness and response?
Yes, with the help of UNICEF, the state is able to prepare a preparedness plan, that is contingency plan on flood. We have submitted this to His Excellency, thinking that very soon he will assent to it. If he assented to it, we are going to make it a policy, a state policy. We thank God we are using some of the national policies to coordinate this coordination. The power of that policy empowers SEMA to organize all the stakeholders that has to do with disaster management. We are collaborating with all the sister ministries like Ministry of Works, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education. Let me tell you the task of each of them. Ministry of Works, wherever we need to construct maybe hedges, that is jinga, they call it jinga,
Yes,
or what
yes,
have you.
yes. Where they used to block water from entering the community.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or where we need to construct a culvert to allow water passage.
Yes, sewage.
Exactly, sewage
Yeah.
and what have you. We allow that to the Federal Ministry of Works to give us maybe to clear land for us for permanent, what do you call it? Permanent refugee camp. We are seeking for that. Very soon we are going to meet His Excellency. It is within his agenda, this 12-point agenda, to look after the livelihood of these victims and what have you. We will soon write to His Excellency. Inshallah, I know he will assent to it and he will provide a safe ground for a permanent refugee camp.
So is there any NGO or sister agency from the national that are used to support the state SEMA in at least doing this activity? Because it's very, very vast.
Yes, we have to thank the National Emergency Management, the Northwest Coordinator, Dr. Abdullahi.
No.
Dr. Abdullahi is doing a lot to help us, to put us on track.
Yeah.
Together with UNICEF, they were able to show us how to coordinate these agencies.
Okay.
I have been explaining to you the work of this agency. Ministry of Environment, they are the people that we will walk throughout the flood season. They have already allowed one of the engineers to work with us during the flood season to evacuate and to create waterways when there is a blockage. Engineer Mahadi. We also thank the ministry for allowing that young man to help us do our work effectively. In health, we also collaborate with health during our camp management. What we call camp management is to taking care of people that we have a camp in these places as victims of flood. The Ministry of Environment is doing a lot too for the clearance of these waterways and what have you. In fact, they are our allies. Whenever we are called to do something, we have to go with them.
So,
and health,
yes,
they are there to see the livelihood of these people. They take care of their ailments, maybe malaria or what have you. They supply medication. Thank God we have the collaboration of also World Health Organization. They also assisted us during 2024 flood.
So there are some little outbreaks like cholera or some
Exactly.
communicable diseases
Exactly.
that might come
We experienced
Yeah.
cholera, and they have fast-tracked the stoppage of that ailment with their quick intervention.
So-
They supply drugs and
So, when we turn around, like looking at the education sector, some basic schools like primary schools in the communities that was affected by this flood, some children go back to their houses, staying without going to school because these schools are affected by the flood. But how do you see this? Is it really this school affected and the children stop going to school?
yes, education is they are part of the stakeholders because we are using their venue as our camp. So they are part of us when we are deliberating. We held a weekly deliberations during the core period of the flood. We sat down round table to see where there are gaps, so that we'll talk to the agency to fast track the mending of that gap.
Okay.
The schools were used.
Yeah.
When we observe that what you are saying will happen, we call upon them, and they have already devised a way of not stopping the children from their schools.
Wow. Kudos to the
They make a shift and allow the education to continue of these kids.
That's
And
good.
UNICEF have already supplied tents for us when the need arise to evacuate this student to evacuate the victims from the classroom so that they allow easy access to children education. Unfortunately, the time they bring it, it's almost over the period of the flood.
Okay, that's good. Let us go to the next question. As what is the agency's plan for providing support and assistance to communities that may be affected by flood during the upcoming rainy season? Because hundreds of thousands of farmlands with their grains have washed away. So, what's your plan?
Yes, our plan is that the government has already stepped in by saying that all those people that were affected by the 2024 flood and they happen to have collected loans for the farming, for that year's farming season, government has already given rebate for it.
Wow.
They have already take them up and give them rebate for the loss they encounter.
Wow.
And again, I know I was in one of the meetings. His Excellency is setting aside some fertilizer for the people that lost their farms. They use it for this dry season farming to mitigate the loss.
Yeah.
So that they will mitigate the loss that they had during the year. Actually, it has reduced the GDP of this country, of this state. The GDP of the agricultural GDP is lower than expected due to the flood, because the flood has already taken a lot of lands that has to be exactly.
Okay, let us move to the general question. As what is the agency's long-term strategy for managing flood risks and reducing the impact of flooding on communities?
When you come to this one, already His Excellency Malam Umar Namadi has already approved. The council has already approved the station of dams, almost 10 dams along the riverine areas.
10 dams?
Yes, they are
in
going to
Jigawa State alone?
Yes, construction of 10 dams. And Malam Umar, with his agricultural project, he saw it as an opportunity to elevate these people through agriculture. Instead of losing our commodity to the flood, let us use the flood as an opportunity.
So the state turned to agricultural hub.
Exactly. Malam Umar is doing all he could to see that this disadvantage has been turned to advantage.
So the irrigation farming assured in the states, yes. No month, no year that is going to lose without farming in Jigawa State.
The essence of the dams is to provide ability for the people to create their farms, to do agri farming, to do irrigation farming, And with this, I know we are going to achieve a lot.
So that's great, Dr. Sa.
And one thing again,
yes,
one beautiful thing again, Mala Omar, in his own act of kindness, he bought this a crane that will dig up, the silting of the water dams.
Wow.
Those rivers and what have you.
Already before.
He procure a
yes.
machine that will do this evacuation of the river.
Wow.
So that river can flow without any blockage.
May God bless him.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
sir, how is the agencies working to raise awareness and educate communities on flood risk reduction and management?
Yes, the early warning system allow us to start enlightening people now before the rainy season. So we will go to this riverine area and start giving them training on how to mitigate the flood incident.
Okay.
Just to make them aware of the incident and the probability of happening, and when it happens, what they are expected to do.
Okay. So how can the public get involved in flood preparedness and response efforts, and what role can they play in supporting the agencies?
Yes, we are appealing to the philanthropist individual. Since this flood is a normal thing or is a usual thing annually, year in, year out, people should start coming forward to assist the government. In procuring maybe food items, maybe relief materials, or maybe help him in desilting the waterways. Because right now, the government bent on desilting the waterways.
That's good, sir.
And doing this jinga and what have you, so that they will have breakage for this water even if it comes.
So this is the end of my questions. Is there anything that I left behind? If you want to say something, you can go ahead and tell the viewers here.
What I want to say is that the incidence of fire incident is increasing. So we want to see that people are more careful about this fire incident. Imagine what the lives we lost to the tanker explosion
in Magia.
Yeah. So people should learn from that, should learn a great lesson from that. When there is a accident of a tanker, people should run, not even come to see. Run away from the scene, so that after, when the fire quenches, you can go there and see what happened. Because there is nothing you can do when it alighted. When the tanker alighted, there is nothing you can do.
So thank you, sir. That has been the Executive Secretary, Emergency Management Agency, Jigawa State, Dr. Haruna Mairiga. We've spent this moment with him, and you follow us next time.